What the scientific world has discovered about the universe of bosons and is not in the public domain. The bosonic reality of our universe. Why is knowledge of bosons so important? Because it reveals the origin of 1. Inanimate matter. 2. Animated material. 3. The origin of life. In 1884, the famous biologist Louis Pasteur, for the first time in history using all the rigidity of the scientific method, discovers that animate matter does not come from the inanimate. This is known as the law of biogenesis, which states only a life produces or proceeds from life. Then the question remains, where does animate matter come from? In 1912, the Hindu physicist Satyendranath Bose discovers that quantum is a particle of pure energy that has no weight, electric charge, or mass as we know it. In 1922, Bose and Einstein joined in the investigation, and 3 years later, in 1925, they announced that there was a new state of matter, the bosonic state, the material universe being divided into the fermionic state and the bosonic state. In 1928, the French physicist Paul Dirac discovers that fermions come from bosons, and it is from this discovery that they begin to build accelerators of subatomic particles like the one built by CERN in 2008 between France and Switzerland to observe how a boson gains mass and becomes a fermion. The great importance of this discovery is that our atomic and tangible universe comes from a universe full of particles of pure energy, that is, the bosonic origin of inanimate matter is confirmed. Bosons are the natural particles of the universe. But here is a paradox. If this step were natural, all bosons, no matter the size, could experience this same transition, since natural processes are invariably present, but it is not so in experience, since the gamma-type boson is the only one that happens to be fermion. On the other hand, specific events have always been the product of the use of intelligence present in animated matter. For discoveries. 1. Animated matter does not come from the inanimate. 2. Our material origin is bosonic. 3. The single step of the boson gamma to become fermion. 4. A unique and limited universe within another universe. Symbiosis between the bosonic universe of pure energy and the mass universe tangible fermions. These 4 discoveries force us to conceive a general principle for everything existing, coming from the same universe of bosons or pure energy. Confirming the previous statement, from now on we will see a symbiosis present between the bosonic universe of pure energy and the mass universe tangible fermions. In this scheme we observe the primary relationship between the bosonic and fermionic universe, which deals with the passage of gamma bosons by quantum walls to give mass and shape to the tangible universe. This action is very specific, since there are bosons of all sizes, that only one type of boson becomes mass is an improbable coincidence, which suggests intentionality, and this is only a product of intelligence, i.e., it comes from animated matter. The second symbiotic relationship is a fundamental result, as observed in the plant kingdom, where the bosons are joined to the fermions, in this case to inanimate and inorganic matter, so that together through the process known as photosynthesis they form animate and organic material in the creation of carbohydrates, essential for the maintenance of organic beings, and oxygen, fundamental for the existence of life on the planet. Another question is, why, if all information is binary in nature, cannot you put cables to genes to extract the content they have? Because this operational information cannot be handled by our fermionic instruments, since it is in bosonic form, i.e., in a state of matter that has no weight, mass, or electric charge. This content is encapsulated in sugars of the size of billionths of a meter and contains information, programming and self-management of particular and general aspects of organic life. The third symbiotic relationship between the bosonic and fermionic universe is summarized to the formation of organic vehicles or bodies based on bosonic operational information present in the nucleotides of cellular DNA. The information contained within a gene is subscribed in the theory of models, and it is the issue that a pattern for replicating a sample requires an earlier model, which is indicative of the previous existence of intelligent processes. What is observable and evident is that every organic vehicle or body is the result of the intelligent and informative action present behind the quantum walls. Next, we will observe the fourth and last relationship between the two universes. He has asked himself, what is the great mystery of science in the brain? It does not have the structure to perform the functions that apparently occur in it. A pasta factory produces pasta because it is designed structurally to do so, which is not the case with the brain, which now is also perfectly known structurally, millimeter to millimeter. The brain has no processor structure because it is not a processor. The brain is only the power stand of a network of logical gates called neurons, which discriminate and filter binary information in states of 75 millivolts 1 to 0 volts 0, that is all. The brain does not have the structure to store all the information it has and processes at the same time. This is simple math. The brain does not possess the cybernetic, structural and material elements to produce 1. Consciousness, 2. Personality, 3. Capacity for infinite logical reasoning, 4. Ability of infinite abstraction. The brain is presented only as an interface between two states. It is not an information processor, not human CPU. Our information processing unit is a structure we call mind, which is not fermionic. The test appears when you ask yourself, why can we not place cables to find out what we dream or what we think, even to download the information we store? The answer is the same as that of cellular DNA. Such operational information cannot be handled by our fermionic instruments, as it is in the bosonic state. Thoughts, dreams, and our data warehouse are the product of a cognitive unit that we call mind, whose structure and operational and classified information is also in the bosonic state. We already have inorganic and organic matter coming from the bosonic universe in the plant kingdom to maintain it, also a perfect cybernetic system to reproduce life according to its species and genre. We need the intervention of the same intelligent systems for the individual control of all living beings. In this scheme, we observe the fourth and last relationship between the bosonic universe and the fermionic one, that is about the intervention, not of the information of previous models, but of the same modeler, in its natural bosonic state, like operative controllers for organic bodies. We conclude that there is intelligent life behind quantum walls and that this type of life is responsible for our type of material, our mass universe, our biodiversity, and our identity. In conclusion, everything, absolutely everything, comes from that invisible universe of pure energy. On the other hand, we conclude that the mechanics of the boson makes way for our observation as the last frontier, since we physically and cognitively come from the bosonic universe. This is an axiomatic reality and is proven in experience. The reason why the scientific world has not been able to answer its own questions is because it does not accept this obvious fact.